Hey guys, welcome here. In last lecture you get familiar with folder structure of our new project. In this lecture we will continue and we will copy all of our previous code from old project to a new one. So let's start. We can go to our coding editors and we can go to our old project, so to view goals. Let's go here and we can copy almost everything from here, from template. So let's copy all of this div here. So starting here with a view goal up, let's copy this. All right, let's scroll down here. Let's copy everything until this script. So let's copy this. Let's go to our view activity. Okay, and let's navigate to our app.view. And actually, I can remove this div here and let's paste here our div from previous project like this. And we need to indent it to the left. So I will select everything. I will click Shift and a Tab to indent it to the left side like this. Perfect. Here we are specifying ID of a view goal app, but here we are providing styles for app. So I will change it. So let's change it for activity app. So activity app like this. And let's change this this selector here in a style. So this should be activity app. So I'm applying styles here. These styles for this selector activity app I'm specifying here. And actually this ID is not important for running our application, because I told you that we are specifying this ID in index.html. So here is the ID of app, and we are mounting our Vue instance to this ID here. So this ID instead of a component is just related to a styling here. Okay, so let's continue with this. And you can see we are using here activity item, but we don't have this component yet. So what I will do here, I will just comment this like this. All right, let's save everything and let's go back to our browsers. Okay, you can see activity planner is here, but there is not much on the screen and we don't have any stylings for these buttons here. So now we need to copy our stylings. So let's go back to our view goals. And let's copy all the styles. So let's go to SCSS, index CSS, and let's copy all of these styles. So let's copy this. Okay. So Control A or Command A, and let's go to our view activity. All right, and here are styles. So I will make here some space like this, maybe more space so it's more visible, and let's paste everything here like this. Amazing. So now all the styles are here. We can save this file and we can see this inside of our browsers. And I have an issue here actually. I copied wrongly, so I will remove it. I will go a few steps back, and you can see this column here is applying for this activity app style. So we need to paste everything just under this column here. Oh, under this bracket, I'm sorry. So let's paste everything here like this. Amazing. So now it should be all right. So let's save this and let's go to our browsers. Okay, there are some changes in the stylings, but still not very good, so let's continue. Let's get back here, and you can see here we are specifying some styles here. Actually, styles are okay, but text align is a center, and I don't want to be decentered, all right? And also margin top. We don't want any margin in our application, so we can remove this margin top over 60 pixels. Okay, so these are removed, so we can continue. Let's go back to our previous application. So let's go to our view goals. And let's see here, inside of our index.html, what we are importing here. So you can find here, I'm using here a Bootstrap, Font Awesome. So I'm using here a Font Awesome CSS library. Also, I'm using here fonts from Google. Here are fonts from Google. Here is a Font Awesome. And also I am using here Bulma CSS, so this is a Bulma framework. I'm using this instead of a Bootstrap, so it's a change because you are seeing in all of the courses the Bootstrap framework, but actually I like this Bulma framework. I started just to work with this a few months ago and I really enjoying to work with this CSS framework. I will show you the later documentation, but for now we can just copy all of these three libraries, CSS libraries from here. So copy Bootstrap, Font Awesome, this first link, second link for a fonts, and a third one for a Bulma CSS framework. Let's copy this. Let's go to our Vue activity. Okay, and let's see our index.html, and we can paste everything here, like this. Perfect. Okay, guys, so let's save everything, and let's see our browser now. Okay, and it's starting looking very, very familiar, but we are not seeing any text here yet. Okay, so let's fix this. Let's go back to our old projects, to our Vue goals. Let's go down here in index.html, and you can see here we are specifying a lot of data here. So we need to get all of this data to our new project. So how we will do it? Let's copy this data object from here. You don't need to copy data itself, but you need to copy everything from this bracket until this bracket in a methods. So I will copy everything like this. All right, until this bracket to a methods. Let's copy this. Let's go back to our Vue activity. And let's specify this data in our app.vue. So app.vue, and we can do exactly the same here. So here under a name, let's specify data, but now it's a not object, but it's a function that's a return object. So we are specifying here a function that's a return object. So now we can paste here this object we just copied from our previous application. So let's paste it here, just like this. And actually we need to, I think, indent it to a left like this. Okay, verify this bracket. This one is ending here. Okay, so now it should be formatted correctly. So now we have our data here as before. So now we can use them in our template. Perfect. And also we can specify here a method. So these are same. So just let's find ending bracket for a data. Let's scroll down here, and here is the ending bracket for a data, just like comma, and let's specify here methods like this. And we can copy and paste here our methods from previous applications. So I will go to Vue goals, and let's get these methods from here. So let's copy our 3 functions from here. Let's copy them, and let's go back to our Vue activity. And let's paste them here. And of course, I need to indent this like this. Perfect. So now we have our functions here. Let's see our projects. Let's go to our browsers, and don't forget to save this. Let's refresh this. I will inspect this page if we are not getting any errors, and no errors. That's perfect. Still not displaying any data because we need to iterate over our activities, and we need to display our component. Don't forget for this. So let's see this. Let's go to our Sublime, to our Vue activity. And let's see, we are using here our activity item component as we created before, but in this project, we need to do it differently. It's actually very similar, but just different syntax. So first of all, we will create a new component in a components folder, so new file. And let's create this new component, and let's call it activity item. Activity item, and it's not a JS JavaScript file, but it's a Vue file. So Vue, activity item.vue. First thing in a Vue component, you want to create a template, script, and a style. So let's create a template. All right. Now you want to create a script for our JavaScript code. All right. And also you want to create a style for our styles. And usually you will place here a scoped. So when you write your styles, they will only apply for this file, only for this component. They will not apply globally for a whole application, but only for this component HTML you will write here. So usually you will see here scoped. Okay, so let's keep here scoped, and in a script file, you almost always write export default, and you want to export default empty object. And that's it. Perfect. Let's go to our index.html. And actually, we don't need to go here. I will just close it and also main JavaScript file. But let's go to our app.vue. Here we have our activity item. So now we need to provide code for our activity item. And for this, we need to go to our Vue goals, of course. So let's go to our old project here. And let's go to our activity item.js. And we need to get all of this template for here. So let's copy all of this article. Let's go to our Vue activity. and to activity item.view, and let's paste all of the code into the template like this. All right, here is our article. We are getting here activity title, activity updated at, but we are not specifying here props. So we would get error. So we need to specify here props. So we can do the same stuff. Just write here props. This was array, and we can specify here activity. The same stuff as before. You can compare it. So you see here props, activity, and a template we just copied to our new project. Okay, and actually I can close this project. We don't need it here anymore. Okay, we need it for images, but we can do it. We can copy them after. So I will close this. We can go to our Vue activity. Okay, and now we can import our activity item to our app.view. So let's go to our app.view. We want to import here our new activity item component. So instead of a script, you can write import. So import our activity item. So activity item from, and this coming from a same root folder. So just a / and a component / activity item. Perfect. Now you need to specify here a new key here instead of our object here. So just under name of an app, I will specify here components, and here we will specify our activity item component. So if you want to reference your component you are importing instead of your HTML template, you need to provide it instead of a components here. So activity item, and don't forget a comma after. So like this. Perfect. Now we can uncomment this code. And let's rename it for our activity item, because now it has different names. So activity item and activity item here. Perfect. Let's save this and let's see. So let's open our browsers. Let's refresh and let's see this error module not found. Error can resolve images user.png, and of course because we didn't copy our images from old project. So let's fix it. Let's go to our coding editors, and we need to copy new images, our old images, to our assets folder. I told you this is a folder for static files. So first I will go to my previous project again, and I closed it before, so that was my mistake. So let's go to our previous project folder. I will go inside of my terminal. You can navigate in your file commander or total commander if you're on Windows, or whatever you are using. So I will find my Vue goals. So Vue goals, I will open this project. Okay, and now I find here images. I will reveal in Finder. I will copy these images. All right, let's copy it, and let's find here our new project. So I will find here in my Udemy projects. Oops, not here. Okay, so Udemy projects. All right, and a Vue activity. Perfect. Here it is, Vue activity, and inside of our src folder, instead of assets, we can paste it here. So paste to items. Here we have our screenshot and also user.png, and I'm not sure if we are using this screenshot at all. And I think we don't. Okay, so I will close this. I will close our Vue goals, and we can go back to our Vue activity. Okay, so now we have our files in assets, so you can see user.png. Let's go to our activity item.view, and here we are using this image from images folder. So now we need to change this path. As you can see, we are in a components folder, and assets are outside of this folder, so we need to specify here ... to go out of this folder. We want to go to our assets folder here, and we want to access our user.png. So like this. Okay, let's save this. And let's go back to our browsers. Okay, and everything is here. Perfect. So I will click here, new activity. This open as before. I can cancel this. And when I will inspect and I will place here some data and I will create activity, you will see that we are getting our console log, create activity. You can see here observer with our data, and it's actually empty. Very interesting. And that's actually Okay, now I'm not getting it. Very interesting. I will refresh this page and I will try it one more time. Let's see. Create activity, and now it's not happening. That was very strange actually. And we can prevent this by specifying one attribute to our click event on element, because a refreshing form, when you are clicking here, when you are submitting form, a refresh of a page is a default behavior of a forms in HTML, but you can prevent this default behavior by specifying one special word, but I will show it to you later. Now it's not that important. I would like to recapitulate this lesson because you should end up with this screen here, and if you met some errors or problems, you can always check my GitHub repository Vue-activity-course. You can find there all the commits with the current changes. And if you have any problems, you can also contact me on a Slack or an Udemy chat. Okay, so let's recapitulate this lesson. I will close these folders, and I'm sorry this lesson is getting too long, but I would like to make it clear. So here is our Vue application, and this is a single page application. I will not talk about what is a single page application and what's our benefits, because that's not the topic of these lectures. Okay, so let's see our main JS. Here we are initializing our Vue instance, and we are mounting this Vue instance to our app component, which is in index.html. Here you can find this element of a div with the ID selector here of an app. So that's where we are mounting our Vue application basically, so we can use all of the benefits of a Vue framework. Okay, so here we are initializing our Vue instance. And in app view, you can see these are basically base component where we want to import our other components. Here it's a main component of our application. Here you can find our syntax of a Vue component I showed you before. We have here a name for our component. We have here components we are referencing here instead of a HTML template, which is activity item. And also we are specifying data. And the data is a function. It's not the object as before. It's a function that's a return object with all of our data here. Here we are specifying methods, and here we have our stylings. Okay. Instead of a components folder, we have our component activity item. It's almost the same as before, but now you can see we are writing here template, script, and a style. But everything apart is the same as was in our old application. Okay, and I think that's it. We initialize our application with the Vue CLI. We have all of the benefits of a development server ES6 syntax. So now we are ready and we can create again new features. So guys, I hope you are excited as me, and I hope to see you in the next lectures.